Hey guys, how's it going? We're gonna be doing another vlog today. Asus wanted to say hi. Hi Asus, how you doing? Doing, baby? Huh? So Asus is just hanging out. It's kind of funny because Max is right across the way. She's actually right there. It's a little glare, but you can see her. She was up top at her basking spot, and she was looking over at Asus, who was just like perched like that. She was giving Asus some like flared beards and stuff like that, some head bobbing. First time I've ever seen Max do that. Usually, like, you see that. Oh, I'm just closing this. Usually, you see that a lot with male beardies, but like Max usually is. I don't know. Maybe she's just very non-dominant, but she usually doesn't do that stuff. So it's really cool to kind of see her do that today. How you doing, Max? Let's say hi to Max. How you doing, huh? You doing good? Real quick, guys, if you enjoy this content and want to see more reptile stuff, check that lower right hand corner, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell button so you know when I post more updates. Max is doing really good lately. I'm going to try to space out some of her feedings. I usually feed her dubia roaches every other day, but if you've seen my gout sort of video that I did recently, I'm trying to really start diversifying everyone's diet a lot more, pretty much a dramatic amount, just to really make sure that there's no problems. And you know, you really should anyway, just like any human, you know, you want to make sure you have a diverse diet. Max actually, I'm trying to incentivize her to eat her salad. I put in some strawberries today, which she's never had. Still doesn't touch them. There is, I think, kale and endives in there. Then this one down here, I'm gonna close this, Max. Now, you know that I've been trying to really get him off endives. I think a lot of tortoises really find something they really like, and they stick to them. So that's endives with tortellini. Well, first off, I actually got rid of the little rock there. I thought he could use some more digging space, so I got rid of that. As it is, to be completely honest, this enclosure is a little bit smaller than I would like for a tortoise. I think it's like 6x3. I should really be aiming for 8x4, but this is sort of the best I can do right now. I'm trying to give him some out of the cage time also. But anyway, back to the food. Tortellini really likes endives, right? He doesn't eat really anything but endives at this point. So I'm going to do some tough love, and I'm just not going to feed him endives until he starts diversifying his diet some more. And eventually they will eat, you know. Tortoises love to eat in general, so it shouldn't be too hard, but I'm just going to sort of wait him out, and I don't think it should be too much of a problem. I think he'll start eating eventually. Dell is doing pretty well since the vet visit. She is a little lazy still. She has her times of being active. She's actually been a lot more lazy since we've gotten back from the vet. But I think that's just typical of a gravid Ackie. But she's doing pretty good overall. She was out and about a little bit today, but she's been really relaxing. So I'll just keep an eye on her, but I don't think there's anything to be concerned about at this point. As for diversifying the Accie's diet, you guys know that I give them dubia roaches. I just fed both of them today. I don't think Dell ate, but I do think Asus ate. But basically, you know, to diversify their diet has sort of been something that I haven't been too sure about. Just because, I don't know. First of all, I don't want to give them ground turkey or anything. That's something I don't want to do. I want to give them whole prey items and stuff like that. I obviously don't want to give them too many pinkies, so that's out of the question. So obviously, I think what it comes down to is I gotta start giving them different invertebrates. So I'm gonna start ordering some different types of invertebrates, maybe try some mealworms, some locusts or something like that. I think that would be interesting. But I have to look into different gut loading things. I'm not super into the flukers because their protein's a little high. The vet did say that that was fine, but I might look into the Missouri formula for gut loading and check that, because I did see a video from, I think, Afro Herp Keeper, who got some Missouri items, and he mentioned that that was pretty low in protein because he, I don't know how he found out about the gout thing, but he mentioned that. So basically, I'm going to be looking at that, see if that's lower in protein, and then maybe try that. I haven't been using it since then, though. But yeah. So So in terms of major updates, number one, it's gotten really hot very quickly here, which has been somewhat of a concern. I moved here late last summer, so I really didn't do much then, but I think what I'm going to end up having to do is get, what's it called, some sort of AC unit and put it in the window right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but right now the low end for Asus's enclosure is hitting 90 degrees. That's fine for at the moment, but it shouldn't be in the 90s. A low end should not be in the 90s. So I'm definitely gonna have to get an AC unit. I didn't think it was gonna get up that much because even late last summer when I moved here, it was not getting to the low to the 90s on the low end. But now it is, and I'm not sure about that. Humidity's still holding for the most part. Not in my Tegu's enclosure. My Tegu's enclosure's humidity has dropped a ton. It's actually been at the lowest point it's ever been, and I'm not waking up in the morning anymore to it being like the glass full of moisture. So I'm gonna really have to look into that. At least where my Tegu is, I have an AC unit, so I can kind of moderate the temperature there. It's good right now, but I'm definitely gonna have to get one in here, and that's probably gonna be pretty expensive. I don't have tons of money, guys. I'm a grad student, but I'll have to figure all this out. Excuse the mess, but we're gonna be going into my living room where my Tegu's enclosure is. You can see him right there on his basking spot. The biggest update currently is that I think Frappuccino, my lovely, wonderful Tegu, is going through Guberty. He's been super flighty the last day and a half now. He did literally a 180 overnight where he went from being, you know, my cuddly little boy to now every time he sees me, he sprints into his hide. He wants nothing to do with me. He's doing a lot of back arching and stuff. I don't know if he'll run as soon as I get closer, but that's what he's been doing. So you can see right there, my lovely little boy. You can already see his back foot was like ready to go. My girlfriend literally touched the keyhole the other day and he just sprinted. I don't know what his problem is. I guess that's just what Guberty is, guys. I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready for him to grow up. He's my little baby, you know? Look at him. Look at that cute little face. All right, watch. I'm gonna open the key, or I'm gonna open the door and I'll see if he freaks out. Oh, real quick. You can see right there. It says 53% for humidity. That's the lowest, you know, it's been at this point during the day. Yesterday it got down to like the high 30s. I even dumped 2 full things of those water bottles you've seen in my past videos. I dumped those like right in here this morning, and it's still not even going up. Oh, look at him. Look at his butt. Are you messing with me? Like, what's going on with you the last couple days? You've been super flighty, and now you're like, hey, what's up? You good boy? What's your deal? I don't have any food on me. I put your food down there. He is having ground turkey, collard greens soaked in eggs, or egg yolk, I mean. And then I think he has some mangoes. He hasn't touched it yet, but he wakes up pretty late, so I think he's getting some basking in before he wants to eat. I don't know. I'm not lying, guys. I swear to God that he was like very flighty, and he like would poke his head out down there, and he would see me, and he'd just run right back in. Let's see what happens if I pet him. Hey, baby. Oh, he didn't like that. Hey. Oh, a nice little Tegu yawn. I don't know if you guys saw that. Oh. Look at that, see? A little back arches. He's definitely not liking it. Look at him, he's being so sassy right now. Alright guys, so discussion time. One of the things I've been talking to my girlfriend a lot recently is this sort of need for quantity in the reptile hobby. There's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, who have a lot more pets than they really can care for. And it's been very prevalent to me lately in terms of like how much work it takes for me to just take care of 6 different animals, not including my my weenie over there. My that sounds kind of weird out of context, doesn't it? I have a Chiweenie, a Chihuahua, Dachshund. But anyway, basically a lot of people go for quantity. And as I was saying, to take care of my 6 exotic animals, 5 different species, that requires about like 2 hours of work each day. Probably even a little bit more, because I really want to inspect them, make sure everything's going well with them, their behavior is normal and stuff like that. And I can't imagine people who have like over 50 different animals. How can they do that? I know some people, especially on YouTube, do this full time, which gives them more reason, you know, more ability to do so. But, you know, if you're also editing videos and stuff, like, I don't know, I just don't see, like, I don't even see it, let's say I did this full time, how I could have over like 10 different species. I can see having multiple animals of the same species, because their care is very similar. It's just more giving them more, you know, food and stuff like that, especially, you know, if you have a lot of tortoises, you could sort of cohabitate them in a big enough space, sort of like Camp Canonist style. But, you know, I just don't get it. Like, there's so many people, like, I don't see how you could possibly do that. And I think there's way too much emphasis on quantity. I think that people on YouTube who do this emphasize quantity over quality a lot more because it gets more hits. And I think that gives people in the reptile hobby who like look up to those people, you know, the desire to get more reptiles, where we should really be, you know, looking at quality more. You know, making sure we give them the best care. I've always been someone, I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything, trust me. You know, I even mentioned at the beginning of this video, my tortoise's enclosure is probably a little bit too small. I know my Crested Gecko needs a big upgrade soon, which I'll be doing probably next month or so. So definitely, you know, I have a lot of things I have to improve on myself. Everybody should always be improving. But I always try to emphasize building the biggest enclosures, having the most room, you know, for my reptiles, giving them everything they want, and being, you know, overly cautious and, you know, wanting to give them the best life. And I really feel like that's what we should be aiming for. And I really feel like we should stop going after this quantity type aspect. It's just not good for you. It's not good for the animals. It's just impossible to have like 50 different species of animals. Anything over 20, I just don't see how you have the time to adequately take care of them. So that's sort of my criticism, my debate I've been thinking of a lot lately. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with that? Do you not agree with that? But really what it comes down to is I think quality of life for animals needs to be a lot better. Anyway guys, that's it for the vlog today. I'm not going to be doing a lot of in-depth videos until my semester wraps up in a couple weeks. I've been kind of busy wrapping that up. So stay tuned for some more. I'll still be trying to do videos every other day though, just nothing too complicated. Alright guys, see ya.